Hello friends and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sweetie for those of you who are new here. Today I thought we're going to do another reading vlog because I like these. I want to do a week of just mood reading from my TBR. I have fantasy, I have literary fiction, and then I also have romance. I also have my Kindle Unlimited, which doesn't really include any of my TBRs, but if I really absolutely want a genre that I don't currently have in my TBR, then I can go ahead and pick something from there. Like I said, we're doing mood reading. I did watch It Ends With Us yesterday and I'm feeling a little bit like weird about it. Yesterday I was kind of sad and I needed to see something that would cheer me up. So I think I still need something that will make me feel a little bit better. So I'm going to pick up Expiration Dates by Rebecca Cirelli. It's the book we're going to be starting off with. This is also a library book, so my goal is to finish it so I can go return it to the library this week. It looks like a pretty short book and I believe it sounds a bit like a romance book even though it's just categorized as fiction, so it could just be like a fiction with a romance subplot. And it looks like there's 254 pages. Let's see how this book goes. Let's get started with this reading vlog.
We were the perfect love song that you would hear on a Sunday radio. You did all the right steps to make me fall in love with the boy that could catch me. Small dates and walks around the neighborhood. My lips would smile at the sound of your voice. They said I was yours and
Morning. So it's Tuesday. I woke up kind of early today, so I'm just like, I'm going to read a little bit, and I got up to chapter 9. I did read a little bit last night and I didn't record that, but that's why we're in chapter 9 now. So just a little bit about the book that I've been reading. So Expiration Dates by Rebecca Cirelli. Right now it's about this one girl who basically gets a note with the name of the person she's going to be dating and for how long she's going to be dating them. And she's been getting these since she was in 4th grade. They vary in duration. Some can be for a few years, some can be for a few days. And it kind of just explores the story of this girl kind of living through life and getting these notes. The story starts off with her getting a note with no expiration date basically. So she thinks this might just be her soulmate, the man she's supposed to be with for the rest of her life. At the moment, she's just recounting her stories of how she's met other people. She told us how she met her best friend, Hugo, who actually ended up being one of the people she dated for 3 months. And then right now I just read the story of how she met Martin, a guy she dated for only 3 days in Paris. The storytelling reminds me a lot of just like literary fiction. It's not like a rom-com. It's not even a contemporary romance, but it's very much has that storytelling feeling. It's been pretty nice so far and it's going by kind of fast because the chapters are super short and then a few pages long. It's a very like relaxing story. It takes place in LA and I grew up in parts of LA and then I moved out of the like LA city, but still was in the outskirts of LA. So she'll be describing some of these areas and I'm just like, oh my god, I remember those spots. Like I know exactly what she's talking about. So it did make me feel a little bit homesick in that sense, which is weird because I'm not a huge fan of LA to begin with, but the way she kind of romanticizes it made me miss it. But it's a very relaxing story, so I kind of want to continue knowing what it's about. So I'm going to put it on my audiobook for a second. I'm going to listen to it on Spotify since I do have a few hours while I make the bed and whatnot.
Daydreaming got me thinking that this can all be true. Speculating a long time waiting to hear a word back from you. Conversations in my head got me conflicted with what you said. I tend to second guess myself like too much, 'cause I think that I've been mistakes. Your laugh is contagious, never ages, always seems to make my day. Conversation.
Hi, I'm sorry for the laundry noises once again. I just wanted to go on here really quick because I finished Expiration Dates by Rebecca Zarelli. One of these is correct. And I just wanted to give you all my quick thoughts. Like I mentioned, that this book is more fiction, less romance, and might I say it's magical realism slightly, just because the whole like supernatural kind of notes that this girl gets, it's never explained. It's just like something you kind of like, oh, okay, like yeah, she kind of is whatever's about it. Like at first it's like what, and eventually she's like, well, this is my normal. I guess I'm a little bit different from other people because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to say when I finished this book, I was going to give it a lower rating than I did, just because Daphne kind of annoyed me a little bit in the sense of you could clearly tell this is a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of situation. So she knows she's getting these notes, she knows these relationships are going to last this long, so she expects them to last that long. For that reason, I'm just like, girl, you have people that genuinely care about you and you kind of just... But as I like reflected on it and I just thought about it, I really appreciate the message. Basically, like even if you have faith telling you like this is what's going to happen in your life, you get to choose what happens in your life. At the end of the day, you should be the one with no regrets in your decisions that you've made. This is honestly a very beautiful story once you kind of sit down and think about it. I really like Hugo. Hugo was possibly my favorite character out of all of them, and Jake is the sweetest thing also. Daphne, she has a bit of a character arc, so the writing style very much felt like literary fiction with the hint of magical realism. It was very, very beautiful writing. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Like I said, it really felt like it was telling me a story. Overall, I was going to give it a 3.5 out of 5, but after sleeping on it and just kind of like thinking about the message and thinking about how much I enjoyed the writing style, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. So now I'm gonna take y'all with me to my TBR. Okay, so this is my TBR. This is what I have to work with. I'm feeling this book right now because I actually read the first page and I thought it was really funny, but I kind of paused because I wanted to read something else. Now I'm feeling this book. I feel like it'll be a lot more serious too though, like the topics it might cover, just because of what the blind date with the book, it said childhood trauma, so it could be a little bit more serious. But I'm also in between this one, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna do this one and then maybe I'll pick up tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Maybe I might need a break from something serious and get something like easy to read, so like a novel love story or famine. But I think we're gonna read this one next.
Lặng nhìn anh chờ mong anh mà anh hững hờ. Từng đêm nhớ từng tin nhắn không ai biết được. Em cũng chỉ cần một chút hơi ấm của anh. But that's enough, your item moves, it's over tonight. Mình đã có biết bao buồn vui, đã có lúc môi kèm môi với you and I.
Okay, so it's been a bit. I want to say halfway through the story on page 153, chapter 14, and I am obsessed with this book right now. I am really, really liking it. 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. This story is about two Black authors, a single mother who writes smutty books. Her name is Eva, aka John B. Then the other person, Shane, who writes fiction. It's very big in the literary world. Basically, the story follows the story of Eva and Shane meeting again after 15 years because they actually knew each other back when they were 17. Something happened in their past, we still don't know yet, that eventually made them kind of go in different directions. Ironically enough, they both became writers and very big around the same time, except that they were both in different genres, and it seemed like they both were constantly trying to avoid each other. The thing that you find out later is that basically they're writing about each other within their own respective genre. So right now we're on Wednesday. I believe the story takes place in 7 days, hence the title 7 Days in June. So right now we're on Wednesday, and these people are reconnecting. There's definitely some old chemistry and tension there. There's some bitterness and resentment that they're trying to resolve, as well as just trying to figure out how to move forward from there. We also kind of jump back in the story to when they first met. It does have some heavier topics, but the writing is so good. The story is so good. I am so invested in the story of how they met and so invested in the story of how they re-met and just their journey. There's this one topic that they talk about that I felt like hit me as a person of color, which is the expectations of being a Black author. Basically, if you're not writing about generational trauma, if you're not writing about slavery, if you're not writing about injustices, you're not really taken seriously as an author, which is what Eva's going through. She writes supernatural stuff and she's not really taken seriously as a serious author. I feel like I connected with that because it feels like if you are a person of color, if you do not write about your traumas, if you don't write about the difficulties of being a brown girl in a white field or something like that, then you are not taken seriously or your work is not promoted. It's either you write about trauma and what's wrong with the world, or you just don't write it out at all. Your voice doesn't matter, which kind of sucks because then people like me who like to write for escapism, who like to read books for escapism, who do not want to write about trauma, who do not want to write about their struggles because they want to fantasize about something that is beautiful, that is nothing compared to what real life is, it feels like your voice doesn't matter. That was like addressed at the beginning of this book, and it almost made me want to cry because I felt so seen. I am someone who has loved writing since I was small. I've always wanted to be an author, and I would write on Wattpad, I would write my own stories. Eventually one day my dream is to become a published author, but it's so hard to feel like you won't be taken seriously if you don't write something that matters. I don't know, that's something that like just hit very deep within me. Got off a little bit on a tangent there, but this book is just so good so far. I'm halfway through it and I am obsessed. Right now I have a little bit time, a little bit of a break, and I'm going to be reading a little bit more. Such a good book. I finished reading 7 Days in June by Tia Williams last night. I absolutely loved this book. This morning, I texted my friends and I told them to read it if they haven't. Usually, I'm very particular about what I recommend to my friends because I think my heart would break if I recommend something that I totally, completely love and they didn't. And this is one of the books where I feel like they would really enjoy reading, I was very quick to recommend. Like I said, this does have a bit of childhood trauma, so there could be some heavier topics that they speak about, but it is such a beautifully written book. I think I've mentioned this in the past, but I'm not a huge fan of a back and forth timeline jump where you look into the past and look into the present when it comes to romance books, because I like to see the relationship develop on paper. Sometimes when those jumps happen, you don't really see it that much because you're too busy jumping back and forth between the two. This book did it right. I was so invested in the timeline of when they were in high school and when they met again 15 years later. It is a beautiful story nonetheless, and I really enjoyed myself. The ending got to me. I'm so happy for the epilogue, because if it ended the way it did, I would have just been so devastated, but it is such a beautiful ending. I think everyone should read this book. Tia Williams did an amazing job. Great author. So I'm going to rate this a 5 out of 5. I love having 5-star books. Beautiful book. I'm so excited. With that said, because it was on the heavier topics, I'm kind of undecided on what to read next. So let's go look at my TBR. This is not part of my TBR. I'm actually going to go to the library in a bit and return this. This is my TBR right now. And obviously my Kindle. I'm not sure. I'm in between these three right now. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, I believe it's just regular fiction. And I'm kind of in the mood for just fiction. But I'm also in the mood for like a dark romance, because I've been really into dark romance lately. And I just want to read something like that with that kind of vibe. But then a novel love story also feels very lighthearted, which I feel like I might need a lighthearted book. I'm in between these three. Which one should I do? We'll see what I pick up. So really quick plan, I'm going to be going to the library to return a book, and then I'm actually gonna go to a coffee shop and read for a bit, because I thought maybe this vlog would be a little bit more interesting if y'all saw me read somewhere besides my couch. We're gonna go grab some coffee and try this new local store and read the book that I chose. Absolutely cute in this outfit. I just came back from hiking too, and I'm kind of tired. I thought I should dress a little bit more romantic, a little bit cuter. I, funny enough, didn't do my makeup today because I'm exhausted. It is romance bookstore day, or bookstore romance day, however you want to call it. So I'm gonna add it to this vlog. I'm going to go to a new bookstore. It's called the Romance Era Bookshop, and they just had their grand opening last week, so we're gonna go today because they are doing a bit of an event for today. And then there's like these vendors that are set up to kind of promote, you know, books, local authors. I think in downtown. I'm really tired, so I don't know if we will go, but I'm going to try my best. Right now I have my book in here that I'm currently reading, which is not a romance book. I'm just bringing it along because I do need a dose of coffee. I'm tired, so I might just read in a coffee shop once again today.
You said you'd pull the trigger if life didn't quit being bitter. Named your dog after death, totally sinner. I just don't understand. This land is your land.
So really quick, I got this book. Oh, it's called Raise on It. It's a small town romance, and I just felt like it was appropriate. I think this is from like an indie author, and it's even a signed copy. Yeah. I'm so tired. I'm gonna see if I can make it to the other place. If I can't, I can't, but we'll see. I still have time. I'm just really tired, so let's go. I am a little bit over halfway through Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. So this book so far starts off a little bit slow, and it kind of tells you the journey of these two friends that met when they were kids, basically at a hospital. One of them was getting reconstructive surgery and was constantly in the hospital for that reason, and the other one was there because her sister had cancer. I think that's what it was. The story actually starts off where Sam, the kid that had reconstructive surgery, sees Sadie for the first time in years. They were just kind of walking by and he just sees her and they call out to each other, and then Sadie gives Sam a game to play. She was doing programming and created games, and Sam really liked it, so he asked Sadie, like, let's make a game together. And so they kind of start this journey of starting this game called Ichigo, and like their journey kind of takes off from there and stuff like that. So it follows the story of both Sam and Sadie, both in their respective timeline, while like they mesh together. You see some of Sam's past, you see some of Sadie's past, you see the struggles of them like growing up, their relationships that they're getting into, their relationships with each other. And right now I've reached the point where they are creating another game separate from the Ichigo series called Both Sides, and I just got to the point where they've released the game. It's a very interesting story. The writing itself, like, you get really immersed into these characters' lives and what they're doing, and there's no like real definite plot to it. You're just seeing them grow and kind of navigate life. I don't know, like, it's been so good. I've been enjoying it so much. It's so sad in some parts. It's really like creative. There's nothing necessarily funny about it. I think some comments they make now and then are kind of funny. It's very much a coming of age story. That's what I was trying to look for. It's been pretty good so far. I've really liked it. I think I might finish this tomorrow. So I obviously can't give a review right now, but I am going to end my video here. It has been officially a week, and I'm so glad I picked this one up because I feel like I really need to be in a mood to read regular fiction to actually, you know, enjoy it, and I'm really enjoying myself right now. So that's realistically what I read in a week. Usually I read about 2, maybe 3 books depending on how fast. My mood changes from day to day, so it's been a really good reading week so far with a few 5 stars, and I have a feeling this might be a 5-star. I might be talking too early, but yeah, I really enjoyed myself. So I'm gonna end it here. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for following me along once again another reading vlog. If you have read any of these books, let me know. I love to speak books with people, talk about books. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.